Hello and welcome back to another Your Underestimate and to my predictions for AEW Dynasty. I think the first ever AEW Dynasty, if I'm right. The card looks interesting. We've got loads of dream matches on there. Could we see a new AEW World Champion too? All questions to be answered. But without further ado, let's get straight into our predictions. Starting off on the 0 Hour show, for the unified trios titles, we got the Acclaimed against the Bullet Club Gold. I think it's fair to say the Acclaimed have had a disappointing time with the AEW Trios belt. They're not as hot as they once were. I think their Trios title, I think they won at Wembley if I remember correctly, and it just hasn't been as successful reign as I really hoped for. But the Bullet Club Gold, now that they split, I think they could get some momentum. Jay White deserves better. I think having these Trio titles run, if we give the belts a fresh start, don't really follow it closely with the ROH stuff, but yeah, the AEW one's a fresh start, then I think they could really build some momentum. So I'm going to say the Bullet Club Gold will get the win. But moving on then to Trent Beretta against Matt Sydal, and I think this will be a really interesting match. Surprised we're not getting Trent versus Orange on this card, but I guess that must be being saved for Double or Nothing. That would make sense, I guess. But yeah, I think no doubt these will have a great match. Sydal, I think his main job in AEW kind of seems to be putting people over, which is a shame for how talented he is. But I think Trent Beretta, now he's nearly a heel, I think will definitely do the job here and get it done. I'm going to say Trent will score the victory. But moving on then to Orange Cassidy and Shibata taking on Shea Taylor and Lee Moriarty. I think this is another interesting match actually. I think the baby faces seem to have good chemistry together. Cassidy obviously about to go into feud with Trent Beretta, so he'll be I think feeling confident going into this one against the Taylor and Moriarty team, who their job seems to be putting others over. So I can only really see a win for the baby faces here. Get the crowd hyped up going into the main card, which starts off with Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe against the House of Black. And this is a hard one to call. Obviously, the House of Black have been on a bit of a dominant run lately. Really on some of the recent TV shows, just being put over how dominant they are, really. But I think it's an established team. Obviously, Kingston as the Continental Crown champion, Adam Copeland, the new TNT champion, and Briscoe's been doing some great stuff lately. So it kind of feels like one that could go either way. But I think Team Copeland will get the win as they kind of build some momentum and maybe begins a new feud. But moving on then to Hook against Jericho, and I'm going to say that Hook will get the win here. I think maybe this could be one of those matches where Hook gets the win. Big race, big rub for the babyface against a legend of our industry, and then maybe Jericho goes away for a bit, does some fuzzy stuff, maybe, and then comes back in a few months' time, refreshed and revitalised. So I think that's what people want from Jericho at the moment. So I'm going to say Hook will get the win here. Moving on then to Roderick Strong against Kyle O'Reilly for the International Championship. And this is a hard one to call. Strong obviously recently won the International Championships from Orange Cassidy, but Kyle O'Reilly I think is he's obviously returned from such a long injury layoff and was so popular, coming into it as a babyface. And I don't know whether he could get a big win to really mark his return after such a long injury layoff. I think he will actually. I think we're going to see a new champion here. I'm going to say Kyle O'Reilly. Moving on into Julia Hart against Willow Nightingale. I think obviously the winner faces Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. I think with all their history, with the locks they've been giving each other, I think it has to be Willow Nightingale, and that'd be a good way to round off that story. I think also a big rub for Willow, but I think this will be a really good match. It's a shame for Julia Hart not to get that opportunity if she does lose this, but I think she has really shown what she can do in recent weeks. So I'm going to say it will be Willow who scores the win. Moving on into Okada against Park, Okada obviously winning the Continental Crown Championship from Eddie Kingston recently, obviously still pretty new into AEW. So personally, I can't see him dropping the belts this soon, but I think undoubtedly with Pac, he's coming back soon. He's coming back recently too. He'll have a really good match, one that you definitely feel could tear the house down and steal the show in a way. But I just can't see Okada losing the belt so soon. So I'm going to say he will retain. Moving on then to the Young Bucks against FTR for the Tag Team Championships. And with the Young Bucks, their new dickhead heel persona, you feel like they'll probably get the win here. Whether they'll be some sort of smalls or something, who knows. But it's always a dream match when these two met, even though we've seen it quite a few times now. But I think it's undoubtedly going to be another banger, and I think one that the Young Bucks probably will win the tag team titles and really control it as the new uber heels that they are. Moving on then to Tony Storm against Thunder Rosa for the Women's Championship. And yeah, I think this is quite a hard one to call. Thunder Rosa obviously come back recently from such a long injury layoff and has had a lot of momentum since coming back. But Toni Storm, her timeless Toni reign has been good so far and still has a lot of momentum. We've also got the likes of Deonna Purrazzo and Mariah May who are hanging around in this feud as well. So it'd be interesting to see how that all goes. But I'm going to say that Timeless Tony will get the win here. I can't see her losing the title just yet. Moving on then to Ospreay against Danielson. And yeah, this is a match that I really can't wait for. I think undoubtedly if there is one match on this card that's going to absolutely tear the house down, yeah, for me, there's no way it's going to be this one. Two of the best wrestlers in the world right now, if not the two best wrestlers in the world right now. I think Danielson, he's kind of on his retirement year. He seems quite happy to put people over, almost too happy sometimes. I think Ospreay needs to win. He's been built up for the start of the World Championship. So yeah, I'm going to say Ospreay will get the dub here. Moving on then to our main event, I presume, Samoa Joe against Swerve Strickland. And yeah, this should be another fun match. Obviously, we saw the triple threat match last week, last pay-per-view. But I think this time, just one-on-one. I feel like this has to be Swerve's moment. Yeah, he's been so good recently. He's built up to it so nicely. And I feel like Samoa Joe, he's had a decent title reign. But I think, yeah, it's just time to give the belt to Swerve and let's see what he can do. Because he's so talented and shown so much recently. Yeah, he definitely deserves the belt. So I'm going to say we're going to say a new champion here.
Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.